Hey team, how you doing? Today I'm bringing you a mobility workout. So still working to a 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off principle, but instead of it being a HIIT or a bodyweight circuit to try and really energize the muscles or tax your cardiorespiratory system, we're going to be working on your mobility, your flexibility, your range of movements. So this is going to be about 20 minutes, just a little bit longer of work, but I tell you, you're going to feel so much better after this routine. It's the sort of thing you can do in the middle of the day if you are working from home and you're sitting down loads, or even if you're managing to be in the office and you're sitting down loads. This sort of routine is going to make you feel fantastic afterwards. You can do it in your lunch break, 20-25 minutes, set aside half an hour even. You're going to feel more mobile, more flexible, outstanding afterwards. If you want, you can even do half of this before a normal routine as a really good warm-up, or the whole thing if you have the time, if you want to listen to my voice over and over and over and over, or click on someone else's workout. Make sure you've got fluid, stay hydrated. If you want to, set your trackers, and make sure you've got some music, or turn me up. Okay, so we're going to start in a child's pose position, and then I will just lead you through the rest. Okay, so you just follow me. Okay. So down we go. So child's pose is going to be on your fours, sink your hands forward, push your backside back, and reach your fingers forward as far as they can, and sitting back. Now, if comfort dictates, you can have your knees wider. Each of you will have your own different range of motions. Just breathe. Okay, fantastic. Just really loosening off that lower back, stretching out your lats. Next one, we're going to stand. We're going to start with a Jefferson curl, which is coming down nice and slowly into a walkout and back. So stretch our posterior chain out a little bit. So dip your head forward, roll, keep your core in, reach your spine to the ceiling as you go down. Hands, if you can, keep your legs straight, and then walk out, hands under shoulders. Walk back. If you can, keep your legs straight. Fantastic. Tuck in. Come up. If you need to bend your legs in this, that's fine. Dip down. Go as far as you can. And then knees. Walk out. Bend the knees on the way back. And up. So you might not get very many of those done in the time allowance, but you get the idea. Okay, we're going to do a dynamic hip movement now for your hip flexors and quads. So a kneeling lunge position. I want you to think about being tall, shoulder blades back, squeezing your backside, and then sinking forward into that position. We're not going to bounce in and out of it, but I do want you to go in and then out. Squeeze the backside, in and out. If you want to, reaching up, tall, you'll get a stretch across your hip flexor, your thigh, maybe even your hamstring on the opposite side. It's a great one for sitting down all day. Hip flexor stretches. Okay, other side. Nice and tall, glute engaged, wiggle your foot into the right position. And when you're ready, we'll just go in, squeeze and forward. Remember, squeezing the back side of the leg that is at the back. Squeeze. You may feel it restricts your movement a little bit, but it'll pre-lengthen your hip flexors and your thighs, so you get a nice big stretch. Remember to go in, control, and back. So we're not bouncing, but we are dynamically moving and stretching this out. If you want to, hands up, lengthens your hip flexors, psoas muscles. Okay, cat camel next, okay? So we're going to be in an all four position. I'm going to go for hands under shoulders, knees under hips, tuck your toes under, and I want you to breathe out and lift your spine to the ceiling. Breathing in and reversing that process, so your belly button to the floor, your head elevated, and then breathe out. Drive your abs up towards your back. Good work. So you can work slightly faster through that if you feel like you can. Control your breathing. You don't want to be body popping, but just go at your own pace. You can go at mine or just work to the time allowance I'm giving you, okay? So we're going to change the child's pose a little bit to include the cobra. So we go into our child's pose position. Feel the stretch. Forward and sink and push up and back and forward. If you can't get into the position, I struggle with it. Take your forearms to the floor, push your hands into the floor from there. Just going to get stretch in your abdominal region, hip flexors again. If you're able to, you push right up and then back. So it would be backwards and forwards movement. Okay, up we stand. Jefferson curl walkouts. So we know what's coming now. On the second time through, we can work it just a little bit quicker. Not too fast though, if you want to get any too dizzy. Tuck, come down, keep your core engaged, walk it out. Stretch those hamstrings, come on up, tuck the chin. This one really primes your upper body as well, so if you're doing an upper body workout, walkouts are really good for getting your shoulders and your triceps and your chest activated. If you've got a bad shoulder, they're not so easy to do. Tuck, down, bend the legs maybe, walk it out, that's fine. Bend, and then come up. We'll go for our dynamic hip movements. So remember, we want to make sure we're stable and that we tip that pelvic region forward. As soon as you do that, your thigh will probably light up, okay? That's what we're after. Tip it, tip forward and back. Re-squeeze, forward. These hip flexors are really important that we loosen them off, okay? They get super tight, they're super strong, okay? And in modern society, we sit down way too much. It's exacerbated through lockdown, of course, Netflix and all sorts, Disney Plus. Oh. But we need to make sure that we do the work to make sure that they don't stay so tight. So lengthening this area, okay? Because when we sit, that area shortens. That's why it gives us back pain, and we're like, oh, back, overstretched, over tight, okay? So, other side, tip the pelvis, squeeze, and lean. And again, remember, you can always throw your arms in. With the arms, it's most important that you reach up with the side that it's on the same side as your back leg to lengthen up to the ceiling. But in doing so, don't forget, tip the pelvis and come forward. Good work, nice. Cat camel last time through, then we can change the exercises, right? Speed it up. Cat camel is fantastic to watch. Don't do it though. Okay, it's a little weird. Okay, hold the position. Up. Stretch your abdominals. And reach up. Whole body position, okay? So we want to try not to sway backwards and forwards with it. We want to go up and down. So we tilt the pelvis, working the rib cage, the abdominal region as we breathe. Three or 4 more seconds. Okay. Next, change the exercises. 2 times through of these ones. Let's start with the lateral lunges, okay? So we're working our inner thighs, okay? Hamstrings a little bit, hip mobility, okay? So take a nice wide stance. And we're going to be working from side to side. So whichever way you want to go first, that's completely fine. Just sink, where you're kind of like pushing your bum backwards and not going too far with your knee that way. You gotta stretch along here and then back. And allow yourself to put some pressure through here to help support your body position. Ten seconds. Breathing in as you come up, breathe out as you stretch. Okay. We're going to do child's pose again, but we're going to work your lats a little bit more in the move because we're going to throw a movement into it. So we're going to walk our hands around from side to side. Sink into child's. And then walk around. And you should feel a stretch all along here. Couple of deep breaths. Around the other side. Okay, so now we're going to more of a static hip flexor quad stretch, okay? Now, you may or may not have the range of movement for this. And this is where somewhere like a sofa or chair can come in handy, all right? I'll demo for you. Forward, balance, lift the foot and grab with your opposite hand. Okay, make sure you've got the right position. Drop your hand to the floor and you will have a great big stretch along here. Breathe. If you need to break it down into 10-second periods, that's fine. You'll build up to the whole time period. Great work. Needless to say, we're going to do the other side. This is a nice one. Once you get it, it's a lovely stretch to be able to rack out and open up your quads and your hip flexors. Foot position is important, spacing, so don't be afraid if you don't get it right first time. Just find it, okay? If you need to readjust, adjust. Forward, grab, and take your other hand to the floor. If you want to, you can balance, you can stay up top, but I find going the hands to the floor, you can sink into a little bit more, get more across your hips. Woo. Oh yeah. Breathe into that area, visualize breath going into your thighs, your hip flexors. Okay, last exercise on this loop is called the plow. It's a dynamic movement, okay? So there will be, some of you can do this, some of you can't. Some of the guys that can't, then there's an adjustment that can be made and you can use your hands to help, okay? So we're going to start in a sat position. And I want you to roll back, bring the knees in, and try and touch the floor behind you. Back, stretch. Those of you who can't go back, try and use your hands to lift your bum. And forward, back, lift. Stretch your hamstrings. Back, and if you can, all the way. Okay. Done enough times and smoothly, that'll certainly get the heart rate up and stretch out your posterior chain and your lower back and everything like that. So quite nice. So, back to the lateral lunges. Last time through, you're doing really well. Take it nice and wide and sink. Right, this sort of routine isn't overly taxing compared to something like a bodyweight hip class or something with dumbbells or going out for a run. So important. We're so immobile as a nation, I think, and it's something that we really need to be working on more frequently. Okay, and down at the club, we have a class called Pure Balance that works on this type of stuff. Stretching and getting you ready and mobilizing joints that are stiff and tight from daily life. Child's pose reaches, okay team? Sink down. And walk. You may feel, or you might actually be, really tight on one side or the other. This is my tight side, you might notice with my range of movement. That's fine, that's just something that has happened and gives you something to work on. When you get to your end range, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Feels so much better. Okay, our quad lift, okay? So set up. It's just a little bit further back than comfortable. Hand. There we go. Oh yeah. That's a stretch. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let us know how you get on. Five seconds. Safety first. And other side we go for now. Again, you might have an imbalance. This might be tight on one side and the other. Could be responsible for years of sitting a particular way or a job that you do. And that means you replicate patterns over and over and over again, which therefore lead to imbalances. Again, try to envisage it not as a problem, but an opportunity to better yourself at something will then make you better overall. Woo. 10 seconds. Oh yes. Okay, plow, last exercise. Let's get rocking and rolling. Watch out for the wall behind you and any other furniture, children, dogs. Up we go, back. And then reach down. Back. There we go. Use your abdominals, lift your knees in. And if you need to, lift as far as you can and reach. Oh. Nearly there, guys. Last one. And there we have it. Mobility, done. If you want to further this now, go on to another workout video, fine. You probably don't really need to cool down after this with like another cool down video. So I will see you on another one soon. Like I said, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, you'll get alerts when the new videos come on. If you want to know about membership, bmemberships@gmail.co.uk. If you want to know about the gym, jimhoniton@gmail.co.uk. We'll hear from you soon. Peace out.